Good evening and welcome back. Welcome back to LLL, Les Out Loud. This is the virtual Pride cap. Oh, this is a virtual Pride from TCC. We are so honored to be part of this. I'm Mina Hartong. I am your host. LLL is a show that we started at Troop 429. Big shout out to Troop. We've loved doing this show and we hope to be back there soon. But for now, we are so glad to be part of Virtual Pride TCC. The Triangle Center in Norwalk, Connecticut has been so strong for us during the pandemic. They have remained open. They are doing so much for our community right now. They are having social groups online. They are doing counseling online. They have an active food pantry where they're delivering food to people in the neighborhood who need it. So we're so happy to be able to give back tonight and to be able to be part of TCC Virtual Pride. As you know, TCC has an amazing Pride in the Park event that they do at Matthews Park in Norwalk, Connecticut. Last year, I think there were 4,000 people there. This year, of course, we can't do that. We're hoping to do it in August, but in the meantime, TCC has put together a whole week of virtual Pride events, and LLL, Les Out Loud, is so happy to be part of that. So a couple of things to tell you before we start. So you might notice I'm wearing a lot of color on my ears tonight. So I'm wearing a little bit of yellow because TCC is having a social media campaign called The Colors of the Rainbow. So today is Wednesday, June 3rd, and yellow is the color today. So what you can do is you can take a selfie of yourself wearing anything yellow, and you can tag, let's see, Connecticut Pride Center and hashtag TCC 2020 Pride Week. And you could win, wait for it, not this toilet paper behind me, I need that, but a t-shirt from TCC with the rainbow colors. So go ahead and do that, take a selfie today, wear yellow, do Instagram, Twitter, SnapTalk, TikTok, whatever you do. I know it's Snapchat. At Connecticut Pride Center, TCC 2020 Pride Week. Okay, and what else you can do tonight as part of Virtual Pride Week is you can text to the number 56651 and you can do hashtag TCC Pride. So that's 56651, hashtag TCC Pride. And anytime during our show, you can donate to the TCC to keep up the great work that they're doing. All of our Comix that are working pro bono, we are lending our art and our talent to keep our community going. So please give, if you can, any amount is terrific. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Mina Hartong, I am your host. My pronouns are she, her, and anything that is about me. I love Pride. I love this time of year. I am a little bit sad that it's not going to be like a full Pride this year, because Pride is a time of year when the youth usually talk to me a lot, and that doesn't usually happen anymore. And there's usually that one person who comes up to me and just like, hi, can I talk to you? I'm sorry, I'm just having a lot of feelings. I just wanted to say, thank you so much for coming out back in the 1900s. I just think you're so brave. You are such a pioneer. Will you take a picture with me? Love me. Yeah. I mean, it's great to be a pioneer. My covered wagon is actually out back, and I need to have horses after the show tonight. But they're great. They know so much more than I ever did. Like I didn't know what a dildo was until I was 25. Then I had to go to a workshop with like real people to figure out how to use it. And it's like, I don't know. It's just like, like they're changing the conversation, and I appreciate that. They're like, we're talking about pronouns and gender fluidity and non-binary identities, and that's all good. But they don't know everything because they're kids. So every once in a while, I have to gather them in my covered wagon and sit in my rocking chair and say, kids, when you were eating gluten-free cereal, I was eating my girlfriend. So, yeah. So thank you. So we are in the Zoom room tonight, and I've been spending a lot of time in the Zoom room. Don't love it. I much prefer the dark rooms in Amsterdam in 1990. Like I could actually find more people in the dark rooms than I can in the Zoom room. I'm very, very challenged by it. Like I kind of feel like someone's asked me to put together IKEA furniture by myself, and I can't call the butch lesbian to help me. But I'm trying. It's what we have right now. My wife has been great in quarantine. We've been sheltering in place in upstate New York, and she's been like cooking all this beautiful food and going to the grocery store and wearing her mask and wiping down everything when she comes in. So that's been great, but we still don't let her drive. And, I know it's a stereotype. I don't like to go there, but she is Asian and she is a terrible driver. She actually stole a car once. No, seriously, like we sent her out for pizza. We thought short trip, no big deal. She took our friend's Prius. Our friend has 2 kids, clearly 2 car seats in the back. She came back with the pizza in a different Prius. Yeah. Someone had left their keys in their car and she brought a Prius home. Yeah, she stole a car. Yeah, the cops were called. She was lucky. So we don't let her drive. But every once in a while, I'll let her drive to give a break. And my wife is also, it's kind of a cultural stereotype, but she is extremely polite, right? She's half Japanese. So like, she's very polite to senior citizens, at the subway, at the turnstile, she's like, oh no, after you, like we're there for 20 minutes before we can take the train. Except when she gets behind the wheel of the car, she becomes a completely different person. So sometimes I let her drive. I put on my heated seat and look at my phone. I'm like, oh, this is really nice, to be driven. And then the rage, starts. And like she's like tailgating and she's like speeding and honking. And I'm like, honey, she's like 82 years old. Just give her a break. She's like, well, she should have gotten the turn signal package when she bought that car, and then like the next intersection, she like cuts the lady off and she's like, me fucking first. And then we get to the store and she's like, after you, can I help you with that? Yeah, so, marry an Asian, just, don't let them drive. And, you really should be with an Asian in a pandemic because like, this is only the beginning of the supplies that we have right now. You only take one at a time, but she goes like every day. She takes it very seriously. And, like she's in full Asian emergency mode. Like when we arrived here, she like, stocked the pantry, cleaned the linens, put fresh batteries in all the sex toys. You're good to go. So in emergency, I really recommend that you should be with an Asian. I recommend it. So we're staying at my dad's house. We're very grateful. He's in upstate New York. He's not here right now. He's in Florida. So we're staying at his house. So I've had, we're staying in these little towns. They call them hamlets, and, we're from New York City. So it's weird. To me, Hamlet is like incest and tragedy. It's a different reference for me. So when we get bored, we go driving, with our masks on in the car, just to look around at these little villages. And they're all kind of the same. Like they're all on the Hudson River, and there's like the Metro North, and then there's like the Village Green, where there's like the grocery store and the post office, and then the little park where they used to burn the witches. So it's really lovely. We feel really really comfortable. So my dad and I've had a lot of contact during the pandemic. He's 81. I'm very concerned about him, so we call each other often. And he'll call me and he wants to talk about, the house and how everything's going. And sometimes he needs things. So, about a month ago, he called me and said, Mina, I need something from you. It's not an emergency, but call me back. So of course I called him right back. I said, Dad, what can I do? So he's like, well, go up to my bathroom and go in the medicine cabinet. Okay, you there? Okay, there's a small white box of pills. Do you see those? I said, yeah. I need you to send those to me, priority mail. I said, okay, so I hung up. Now my father is from Holland and he speaks Dutch. And I think he forgot that I also speak and read some Dutch. So yeah, he asked me to send him his Viagra priority. Yeah, he did. And, so great, now I know that. And then he called me the following week. He's like, Mina, we don't have a working thermometer here. I don't want to go to CVS. It's too dangerous. I said, oh, no, Dad, you shouldn't go. Let me get you one and we'll send you one. And he's like, well, I want the one that goes in the ear or on the forehead, but I don't want the rectal thermometer. Do not send me a rectal thermometer. So now I have an image of Viagra and my dad and a rectal thermometer. So it's great. I've learned about my dad in the pandemic. Thank you, Dad. But he is coming home soon, and we're trying to make the house look really nice for him. So I got a nice watch list together on Netflix for him. It's basically like women, Asians, people of color, and queer people. So he's gonna love it. I think he's especially gonna love Michelle Obama's Becoming, because all Trump supporters, would love all those shows. So. I've told you before that I'm a terrible lesbian, and it's true. Almost 30 years now, I've never been able to crack the code, except during COVID. I think I'm becoming an excellent lesbian because I stay home all the time. I play Scrabble so much that I bought the Scrabble app, right? I'm composting weekly at the farmer's market, and my wife and I are starting to dress alike. So nailed it. I'm like an excellent lesbian now. Finally, it took me like 30 years. So I just want to shout out to the teachers I used to teach, and this homeschooling thing has got to be so tough. I mean, people are like, oh, it's so nice for them. They must be having such a break. I'm like, what are you talking about? They have to answer every email. Like when you're in the classroom, you can like ignore the kids you don't like when they're raising their hand. So no, they're working twice as hard, trust me. But I feel for the parents, I do. That's got to be really overwhelming to be homeschooling your kids. But it's because these parents are so nice to their kids. They give them everything they want. Like my mom's homeschooling would have been like, you want recess? Take out the garbage. You'll go outside. What, French? You're taking French? Okay, s'il vous plaît. There, school's over. Yeah, that's the way to do homeschool, right? That's the way to do it. Before I finish on a little bit of a serious note, I'm sure you've all been following that, the increase attacks and hate crimes against Asian Americans right now. And this is extremely concerning. This is not okay. And this is not America at its best. My wife and I talk about it a lot, and I don't like seeing her scared to go out and do things and run errands in her own country. And I noticed that a lot of these people who are blaming the Chinese for the virus also love Thai food and hibachi and sweet and sour chicken. So it's kind of like, you got to choose. Are you going to love the food and love the people, or you're going to hate the people and not get the food? I don't think they should be allowed to have it. I know everyone's talking about the mask. It's all over social media now that people are stopping wearing their masks. I religiously wear my mask. And I don't know how many people who aren't wearing their mask at all because I can't even go there. But, these people who are the half maskers are really getting to me, okay? So like they wear their mask, but they don't cover their nose, right? They might wear it right here, or they just wear it down here like a very large Adam's apple or like a necklace or something. Like, look at me, I wore my mask. Like a straight guy saying, look at me, I did the dishes. So, I'm wearing a mask. Oop, not right now, but I'm wearing it a lot. Because it helps me not touch my face. But they're always like, don't touch your face, don't touch somebody else's face. I don't want to touch anyone's face. I just want to sit on someone's face. Is that okay? Is that dangerous? All right, that's my time. You all are lovely. I'm Mina Hartong. I'm your host. You can find me on Facebook, on Instagram, and I have a new comedy special on YouTube at the Magnolia Room. Please check it out. Thank you so much. So I'm really excited to introduce our comedians. We've got 3 comedians on tonight. They're all LOL veterans, Les Out Loud veterans. They've been on our show at Troop 429. We're so excited to get them back there. We've got Molly McFarland, we've got Kendra Dawsey, and Alicia Hush. So here they are. Woohoo! Ladies in the Zoom room. Okay, so welcome and thank you. I'm so excited to see you all. I've missed you. And I'm excited to do this show. Thank you for being with us. So keeping in mind, this is part of Virtual Pride Week at TCC. If you're just joining us, you can text 56651 #TCC Pride. We would love a donation of any size to help them keep their great work going. But right now we're going to keep the comedy going because we need to laugh right now. Okay. So our first comic up is a favorite of mine. She is an actress, comedian, and writer. She's also soon to be a director and a producer. So basically she's like a quintuple threat or whatever that is. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Molly McFarland.
Hi everyone, how's everyone doing tonight?
Woohoo!
So, summer is coming up. You know what that means. Bikinis, sunscreen, and now murder hornets. What the fuck has 2020 become? It feels like we're all in this simulation, but we don't know the rules and we keep eating SpaghettiOs. I love how no one really recognized that UFOs exist. There is so much happening right now, no one even cares anymore. Trump could literally go to jail and it wouldn't even occur to us till August. Also, why so much toilet paper? Do people think they're just gonna have constant diarrhea? This sucks because I love summer. I can wear basically next to nothing, drink margaritas every day, and get a nice tan the natural way, not with an excessive amount of bronzer, Karen. I miss the outside so much. I don't really miss the people. Because of Corona, we can't go to the bars, and I have to say, I'm not too disappointed. Going out this winter was not fun. I've had beer spilled on me, pervy old guys staring at my boobs, and not once have I been hit on by someone hot. It's always those guys that get drunk off of 2 beers and are slurring their words trying to bang. I mean, compliment me. One time when I was out with 2 of my friends, a guy was hitting on me at the bar. When he didn't get the many hints that I wasn't interested, I came up with a fake boyfriend. Told him he was out of town in Florida golfing for the PGA. This quarantine has been a nice break from that shit. But I do miss getting my hair colored and getting my pedicures. I know it sounds like really, really unimportant, but homegirl don't look good with roots. And my feet have calluses so bad, I can use it to scratch my legs. I also didn't shave my legs for a while. A while. I don't want to expose myself, but I needed a weed whacker. and I'm blonde-ish. So it's not that my hair was even long. It was just too much hair. And I shaved pretty frequently, but because I had places to go and hockey players to hit on. And now with summer coming, I have to figure out at-home waxing. This is the thing with getting waxed. I'm not that common, I have to get it done. It kind of feels like you're not going to have skin after. I do tend to check if I still have a vagina because that's how much it hurts. Now, for the men that may be watching, you might be asking, why would you put yourself through that? Well, Chad, the people who make bikinis for women are just slowly, every year, making them smaller to the point where we're going to be wearing G-strings to the beach. That may sound nice for you guys, but having a string in my asshole is not. When I signed up to be a girl, I didn't agree to all these terms. Yes, I love me some good highlight to make me sparkle like Tinkerbell. But I didn't realize it also meant you have to be almost hairless, wear clothes that are so tight you have to be a size 000, and also have some curves that the men have something to hold on to. And what are the terms for men? There are none. Well, I would hate to have random boners just because the wind blew. I have to say, though, I am pretty lucky. I'm not in school, so I didn't have to worry about graduation or prom or anything else that was ruined because people don't know how to wash their hands. Isn't that insane? That people, to this day, do not know how to properly wash their hands. People were singing songs like little kids do when they're learning how to wash their hands. Except instead of the ABCs, it's Respect by Aretha Franklin. Good fucking song.
Mm-hmm.
But there is one thing that I am so glad to miss this summer, and it's my annual pap smear. No having to disclose my sexual history with a nurse who I've never met before. No insane amount of lube that'll be inside of me for 10 days. And no opening up my legs to have some metal thing be put inside of me that's only the size of a finger. Whenever I've been with someone, they haven't been like, wait, let me just put my steel glove on before we continue. Then again, if I get a test for COVID-19, I will have to have a long Q-tip going up a different hole. That is my time. Thank you, and wear your goddamn masks.
Woohoo! Molly McFarland, yeah, let's clap for that. I'm going to put my mask on right now because you said so. Molly has been posting a lot on social media. She's a fun person to follow about the mask, and we appreciate that. So I'm going to put it on just for you, Molly. I'm going to
Thank you.
But you're right. You're absolutely right. And you can also follow Molly and her comedy stylings at Molly H. McFarland, right? On Instagram. Okay. So Molly, you're talking about the whole shaving your legs, letting these things go, waxing everything. I'm terrified to wax myself. I would never have an orgasm again, so I'm not going to do that. But I really enjoyed the no bra. Right? Has anyone been enjoying that? The no bra. Right?
The only time that I wear a bra is when I have a FaceTime date, and that's really it. This is it's so weird to get ready for this because I'm no guy's gonna tell me that I'm hot.
Well, we might. But yeah, no, that's when I know that I'm working. It's when the bra comes on. But it's been great not to have to wear it, and I don't even know what's going on with the shaving. And I've worn elastic pants for 2 months, so I have no idea if my other clothes fit. It's just I'm taking it as a perk. So we're going to keep the show going for you. If you're just joining us, this is Virtual Pride Week as part of the Triangle Center. I'm Mina Hartong. I'm your host. This is LOL. This is Les Out Loud. These are these fabulous lineup that I have tonight. I'm so lucky to have them. They're here giving you some comedy and some laughs tonight through the pandemic. And if you would like to help out TCC to help them keep doing the good work that they're doing, you can text 56651 #TCC Pride. So please, any amount is great. And we're so happy to be with you tonight for Virtual Pride Week to help you laugh and get through it. So our next comedian is one who I feel very nostalgic about because she is one of the first to join us for the LOL show when it was just sort of a little idea that we had about doing a comedy night at Troop 429. She moved to Boston, so I haven't been able to have her back, but now with COVID, I can have her from a distance. She is a New York City, she's Boston-based, excuse me, and she's performed all over New York City and New England. You've seen her at Stonewall, at Mohegan Sun. She's been in many festivals, including the Midwest Queer Festival. You can follow her on Instagram at Unamused Black Girl. Please, you're gonna love her. Please welcome the very, very hilarious and funny and wonderful Kendra Dawsey.
Hi. It feels so weird saying hi because like I won't be able to hear people say hi back. But hi, watching hi. I could rhetorically ask how everyone's doing in quarantine. Not only will I not be able to hear you, but I'm guessing the answer isn't that great because it's not a fun time, right? Like I see on Instagram all my friends are like baking bread, making all these like beautiful pastries. They're like reconnecting with their loved ones. They're freaking making gardens. They're doing all this beautiful thing. I have been trying to do those nice things, but it has not worked. Honestly, it's hard out here. I've done yoga 4 whole times. I don't have abs yet. It's fucking ridiculous. I'm trying to level up in quarantine. I want to come out. If I am going to be locked inside because our government doesn't know how to handle a pandemic, I at least deserve abs. All I'm saying. All I'm freaking saying. Like, some abs. Just send them in the mail with the check. It's fine. I also, every single butch and stud is suffering because they can't get their hair cut. Like, that's why I'm wearing this hat indoors. I'm so embarrassed about my hair. Just tell a butch that they look handsome today. If you see them on Zoom, if you see one in the street, it's like polite cat calling, being like, you still look great. You still look great. Yeah, it's just rough. And I would say ordinarily, it's the end of the world. There's we have UFOs, murder hornets, all these weird things. We shouldn't have beauty standards anymore. And I've been kind of walking outside looking kind of wearing pajama pants. It's it's the end of the world. No one cares. As long as I'm wearing a mask, it's fine. But there's still a part of me that just really wants to be able to show off my abs. So it's very, very split thinking a little. But yeah, quarantine has been kind of rough for me. One thing that's been rough is my cat has been going into heat. That sucks. Not ideal, right? So I live in a 1-bedroom. I used to live here with my ex-girlfriend. She moved out. We broke up shortly before quarantine because I have amazing timing, right? My ex-girlfriend is white. I'm Black, so we got a gray cat, so the cat would be attached to both of us, right? The cat needs to really feel both parts of her culture. Her name is Tula. She's really great. We got her when she was a kitten. We had set up an appointment to get her spayed, but that appointment was canceled due to everything going on. So now I'm just stuck in the apartment with a horny ass cat. That is, if I had to tell myself 10 years ago that there was a pandemic that was going to happen in my lifetime, I would not expect one of the consequences of that to be constantly making sure a young cat is not trying to mount my foot. That's unprecedented. Very unexpected, So yeah, it's hard. It's weird. She's still a kitten, obviously. We didn't get her spayed right away because you're not supposed to do it when they're too young. They need to kind of bulk up to be able to withstand the surgery. But by the time we had it planned, again, COVID kind of erased it. So now there's just a small animal in the apartment exuding all of this like relentless horny energy. Like just, it is simply overwhelming. My cat is hornier than Leonardo DiCaprio at a college graduation, and I really don't know what to do with her. It's really sad. It's really sad, right? She has, trying to make her less horny has changed my Spotify recommendations. This is how much it's affecting me. I tried to play this dehornifying music for my cat to like calm her down, and it kind of works. Like she like yells like maybe once every 5 minutes instead of once every minute, right? Like it kind of works. But now my Spotify is like, oh, like, do you want to listen to this song that you listened to last night to make sure your cat wasn't horny so you could sleep, or this one? And I'm like, no, I want to listen to some pop music. Leave me alone. Yeah, it is really weird. It's weird because she's also like a very cute cuddly cat otherwise. I've never witnessed some like a creature be so sexual but so absolutely not sexy at all. Like it's very and like one person's like, oh, like you called your cat not sexy, that must make her feel bad. No, I mean, she's not sexy. Like she's not sexy, no bestiality, but my cat is very attractive. Like a tomcat's, like if she was allowed to go outside, she'd be like racking up. Like it's very cute cat, but you know, I don't want to jinx pregnancy. Yeah, this poor cat, she's also like, she also will just like annoy you in the middle of the night. Like it's just been a lot, but like she finally dehornified. She's not in heat right now, which is why she is not in the room just trying to rub against the computer screen. So I'm very thankful about that. But yeah, it's weird. I live in a new city during quarantine, which is weird. Like I was still getting used to the city when everything got shut down. I moved to Boston recently, about 10 months ago, because, you know, I just really wanted to feel some artisanal racism, right? Like I really wanted some like great racism from the source, you know, that and Dunkin' Donuts. They have lots of those here. Boston is weird, honestly, because like the racism here is unique because there's like a lot of areas where there are people who have like Black Lives Matter signs in the front porch, and they like really try to like present themselves as really liberal, but they still won't sit next to you on the bus. And honestly, that's my favorite type of racism because I hate it when anyone sits next to me on the bus. Like it lets me ride the bus in peace each day. It's great. Boston is weird. I keep comparing it to New York City because I grew up like about an hour outside of New York City when I was younger. So there's lots of comparisons I've been making in terms of like the way the city is laid out. So like New York City has a grid. Boston cities were made by stoned as fuck horses, apparently, because all the roads have like 12 different curves. It makes no sense. But one thing I was trying to compare New York City bagels to something in Boston. So New York City bagels are so famous and they taste the way that they do because of the water content in New York City's water supply. So it has different minerals in it that make it taste good. So I'm like, okay, what does Boston have that's similar? And then I realized Boston clam chowder tastes the way it does because of all the dead bodies in the Charles River. That's what gives it the unique taste, right? Like very important. Yeah. It gives it a little spice of life. I live in East Boston. It's an area that has a lot of immigrants. It used to be known as a really Italian area. Once I told someone that I lived in East Boston and they were like, oh, so you Italian now? Like now you're trying to fit in with the Italians? And I was like, I can't walk into an Italian American club and say, oh, I'm just very, very Sicilian, you know? I don't think that would fly. I don't think I could pass as Italian. And then I was like, what do I even say to pass as Italian? Like Tony Soprano, like Italians are oppressed. I don't know what I would, we're oppressed just as bad as Black people. I don't know. I don't like, I love Jersey Shore. I don't know what would work. But I moved here from Connecticut. Whenever I tell people that I lived in Connecticut for 10 years, no one ever expects it because I am a Black person. You know, it just doesn't fit into people's ideas. And I understand that, you know, when most people think of the state of Connecticut, they think of like a white dude with lots of money lots of Ivy League degrees, and lots of dropped rape charges, right? And that's not me. That's not my Connecticut. I think the one exception to this rule is I was doing a show in Miami, Florida, and there was a woman in the audience. I asked her, what do you think of when you think of Connecticut, to do some crowd work? And her response was, I fucking don't, which amazing. I could not have written a better response. Like, I think about that woman every day. Imagine never thinking about the state of Connecticut, like an entire state, you know? Wild, amazing, in envy of her. But yeah, I lived in Connecticut for 10 years. There's a lot of different areas of Connecticut that I think people don't expect. Like, we have kind of the like backwoods rural areas of Connecticut where they spell it with 3 Ks instead of 3 Cs. And then we have the inner city. So I lived in New Haven. Anyone watching from New Haven, comment on YouTube. New Haven's great. I really like New Haven. It's a really fun place to be. It has a lot of like entertainment and stuff. But when I first moved there are a lot of people that were acting really concerned for me. They're like, oh, you should be careful because there are some dangerous areas. They were kind of like dangerous areas, you know? And then I would go to those areas and there's just like a black kid riding a bike. That was the alleged danger, you know? I was like, Sharon, this is my cousin. He's fine. But that isn't dangerous in New Haven. People staring outside businesses, also not dangerous in New Haven. What is always really scary to see, though, what like honestly strikes the fear of God into me in New Haven, is a white man walking around the hood barefoot. It's very disconcerting, and it happens because, and whenever it happens, it's because someone from a local college got too high on the way to folk band practice. And at any moment, they could pull a guitar out their ass and start doing a cover of Wagon Wheel. And that is the scariest thing to me. I've heard that song way too much in college, and I demand an end. That should be part of our next like coronavirus like relief fund. Just no more Wagon Wheel. We have, as a nation, we've evolved past that song. Yeah, thank you, everyone. I think that is about my time for the end of the day. Thanks so much for watching. Please support Triangle Community Center. It's a really awesome place. That was some like doing the shows at Troop 429 that were sponsored through Triangle were some of my fondest memories in Connecticut. So yeah, thanks for watching and have a great night.
Woohoo! Kendra Dawsey! And thank you for that shout out. Yeah, we missed Troop 429 and TCC, and they're all kind of within a few blocks of each other. It's like the little Chelsea of Norwalk, Connecticut. Yeah. So thanks, Kendra. Kendra Dawsey. You can follow her at Unamused Black Girl. You can see the cat a lot on your Instagram because I follow you on Instagram.
I post the cat a lot.
She's pretty. She's pretty. I
like my cat. My cat is a total Betty. Honestly.
No, I mean, if she were out there, you would definitely have a problem.
Yeah. Yes, if she were the equivalent
of children.
What'd you say?
You'd have a lot of children if she were out there. She's very pretty.
There'd be a lot of kittens. Yeah, I'm keeping her inside to protect her from the evil tomcats. You know.
But I love what you're saying about Boston, because I lived in Cambridge for a year and I've been living in Brooklyn, so it was a really weird transition. First of all, I couldn't get any takeout, so that was delivery. So I was like, I couldn't get any food delivered. But then I remember riding the T for the first time in Cambridge, and I was like, what did they do with all the Black people? Like, where are they? You know, and then like it's a very strange and segregated city in lots of ways.
Yeah.
And my wife didn't have a great experience in Connecticut. You know, she had a lot of interactions like what you described. But one of the ones that I still remember is like she was waiting at the dentist and somebody asked her what family she worked for.
Yikes.
Yeah. So I mean, like there are pockets of Connecticut that are like, and Molly lives in Connecticut, so she's gonna make it all better for us. Yeah.
Thank you, Molly. Make it better for us.
Yes.
I'm trying.
And you're succeeding. Yeah. So if you're just tuning in, this is LLL, Les Out Loud. This is our comedy show that used to be at Troop 429, and we will be back. But we're so excited this week to celebrate the Triangle Center during Virtual Pride Week. They're bringing us a whole week of events because we can't have Pride right now in the park, but hopefully we will later in the summer. So thank you for joining us. We've got Molly McFarland, Kendra Dawsey. I'm Mina Hartong, your host. Now I'm going to bring up our next comedian. I'm really excited. I met this comedian at, I think it was the funniest comedy, oh my gosh, help me, Alicia. Funniest
comic in Connecticut.
Thank you. There's a lot of C's. Okay, so Funniest Comic in Connecticut contest, there's another C, which is produced by Brad Axelrod, great friend to comedy. And we were competing, and I saw her set, and I didn't wait the usual, like, 10 minutes, like when you see like a hot girl at a bar and you want to just sort of like, wait a little while. No, I didn't play hard to get. I was like, I must have her in my show. She had just sat down. I'm like, I'm Mina Hartong, and you need to be on my show. And I'm so happy that I did, because she was with us on LLL Troop. She's here with us tonight. She is based in New York City, but she's from San Antonio, Texas. She performs all over the US and Canada. She hasn't actually performed in Canada, but she likes to say that she did. You can follow her. Canada, you should hire you. You can follow her on Twitter at Alicia Hush. Please welcome the wonderful and hilarious Alicia Hodge. Woo-hoo!
Thank you. I have always wanted to perform in Canada, so I'm glad to have this opportunity. I am from Texas originally. I'm quarantined here at my parents' house in Austin right now. I did find out the hard way that my parents are still sexually active. Yes, I walked in and they were doing reverse cowgirl. Gross, but also, you know what? Very advanced move for Republicans. I am from Texas, but my mom's family is from a really small country in Europe called Luxembourg. They're half German, half French, full asshole. But I had a cousin from Luxembourg come to Texas for the first time, and afterwards I asked her how she liked it, and she was like, it was really good, but I felt uncomfortable because your dad took me to a gun boutique. And I was like, okay, well, calm down. All right, that was probably just a Walmart. My younger brother does not live at home anymore, but he goes to therapy. And he just got diagnosed with this thing called proanoia. If you don't know what that is, proanoia is the opposite of paranoia. It's where you think the universe is conspiring in your favor. I was like, listen, I don't know how to tell you this, but you have just been diagnosed as a white man. I come from a very attractive family, and they've made it very clear that they think I'm the least attractive of the group. Growing up, my younger brother's nickname was Beau, which is French for handsome, and my younger sister's nickname was Belle, which is French for pretty, and my nickname is Buckskin, which is English. Skin of a dead deer. Skin of a dead male deer. Not a lot of subtlety in that message. Okay, our nicknames essentially translate to attractive, and leather. Honestly, the only person in my family who actually calls me by my real name is my uncle, and his nickname is Heroin Steve. He does a lot of heroin. I gave myself highlights the other day, and I was feeling very self-conscious about it. But then yesterday on the subway, just pretend I was not out, on the subway, a man actually rubbed his erection on my body, and I was like, well, you know what? These look good. But it was weird because when I turned around to thank him, his penis was actually out. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to confront this guy. And when I did, he panicked and said something completely ridiculous. He was like, ma'am, which is rude. He said, ma'am, this is not what you think. This is not my penis. This is a bike. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Okay. First of all, I know what a penis is. Okay. But even if I had never seen a penis before in my life, I think it's very presumptuous of him to think I've never seen a bike before. Before moving to New York, I actually lived in Florida Have any of you guys ever left a place because you start to fit in there? Okay, that's the whole joke. Next one, ready? Before quarantine, I was on dating apps. I saw this dating app called Hater, and it matches you with people based on things you both hate. And at first I was like, that's brilliant, right? But then I realized the last thing I need right now is to be matched with the only other person on the planet who hates my mom as much as me. It's my dad. I guess you hate that joke. I am on dating apps. I matched with somebody recently whose little bio just said 3 things. It said New Jersey, cocaine, and hail Satan. I was like, yeah, there's no way in hell I'm going to New Jersey. Some little tri-state area joke. Okay. I saw on the news, NBC has released a statement saying that they want to be the next Fox News. And when I saw that, I was like, wow, oh no, so many brunettes are gonna lose their jobs. This should probably come as no surprise because this is a pride show, but this is my favorite joke, so I'm gonna say it. I don't like big penises. I like small penises. I personally prefer a penis so small that it's just a clitoris. Surprise! Tricked you with my long hair. Okay. The straights really eat that one up, I just have to say. They're like, we are surprised. Okay. They always are. It's really fun. I am bi actually, but my parents prefer to think of it as straight. I had a boyfriend when I was in high school, and I was catching up with him recently, and he was telling me about this new thing he's doing with his girlfriend in the bedroom, where they both get very, very close to orgasm, and then they just stop. And he was like, it's really great. We call it edging. And I was like, well, that's crazy. Okay, because for years, I was just calling that sex with Mark. Okay. So the same ex is doing this other weird thing with his girlfriend where she takes a grapefruit, cuts a hole in it, and then holds it while he has sex with it, which is, it's not natural. Okay. It's not. You guys, I'm gay, and even I was like, I don't think that is how God intended. Oh God. Sinners beware. Okay. I'm seeing somebody right now. She's Jewish. Very exciting. It's my first time dating a Jewish girl. Dating a Jewish girl is very cool because you also get to date her mother. Yeah, she's gonna see this. She actually, the girl I'm saying, she made dinner for me before quarantine, and she said that the meal she made had been passed down from her mom, and she asked me if I have anything passed down from my mom. And I remember one time my mom was going to teach me how to make a French souffle, but it didn't work out because at the grocery store, she punched a man in the face. But now I have also done that. I have like 3 more jokes that I'm gonna run if I have time for that.
You do.
So Uber has come out with a statement saying that they're gonna start making driverless cars. And I don't know if you guys saw that. Yeah, they're gonna do driverless cars. And my mom called me the other day and she was like freaking out. She was like, whatever you do, don't order one of those, because she's convinced herself that somebody can actually hack into your ride, redirect you to a remote location, and then kill you. I was like, listen, Mom, that's way more effort put into killing me than I put into staying alive. There's more to that, but it's not ready yet. Okay. Okay, this one is one of my favorite jokes as well, and just know that there's a good chance you guys will not like it. I was hanging out with my younger sister the other day, and she was sexting with this guy. And she gave me her phone and she was like, will you text him something sexy on my behalf? And I thought that it would be very funny to text down to fuck ? To our dad. She was pissed. She was like, oh my God, Allie, you are such an embarrassment. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'm the embarrassment. You're the one that can't get dad to fuck you. Okay, just wanted to shove that in there. Okay. Thank you, Mina. I'll end on this. I had to use a public restroom right before quarantine. And as I was waiting in line, the woman in the stall in front of me came out and she had her young son with her. And then the woman behind me in line completely freaked out. She was like, I don't want to be in here with him. He's probably rubbing his little penis on everything. Yeah, and I was like, ma'am, listen, I've seen one of these on a subway before. That's a bike. Thank you guys. I'm Alicia Hush.
Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Alicia Hodge. Oh my goodness. So, Alicia, do you need me to send any Viagra to your dad? Because I know where to get some.
From what I have seen, he's doing fine. And turns out his hip is fully healed. So.
Yeah. Bonus. Yeah, quarantine with your parents could be a whole next show. You know, I didn't think about the benefit that both you and Molly mentioned of like the upside of the pandemic of not being sexually harassed by men, you know? So
yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
So if you're just tuning in, you missed our show. So you should watch it again on YouTube. This is LLL, Les Out Loud, and we have had a wonderful time tonight being part of TCC's Virtual Pride Week. We love the TCC, the Triangle Center. We want to keep them going, keep all of you going and happy during Pride. So if you can text 56651 #TCC Pride. I want to thank all of my comedians tonight. It really just gave me so much joy to be with you, and I hope we can do it again soon. Molly McFarland, the very handsome Kendra Dawsey, I will say, and Alysia Hush, all the way from Texas. So this has been LLL. I am Mina Hartong. I am your host. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.